what is the importance of education and what is the key to success. So if you have any question, I'm sure you are seeing us both in Facebook and YouTube. And if you have any questions, so come directly to the link that I have posted, because we cannot see your question in Facebook. And if you have any question, write in the comments after we are done with our interview, so we come and answer your questions. Okay, hello Lisa. How are you?
Hey Mariam, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for inviting, and it's so exciting to be in here with you.
Yes, so we can start our interview. If you like to introduce yourself for our audiences.
Yes, that would be great. Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Kakar and I'm from Afghanistan. I'm a women rights activist and also I'm a co-founder of Afghan feminist movement, the Rudat magazine, which was the first feminist publication in Afghanistan. And also I'm a winner of Global Swede Award of 2020. Short introduction.
Yes, yeah. Amazing. So we heard that you got scholarship in Sweden and you applied for master programs. Can you tell us a bit about that process? And which year it was? Yeah.
Yes. I basically applied for studying in Sweden when I was in Kabul, Afghanistan. So honestly, if I share my own experience, I will say it wasn't that much difficult, but you need to have patience and you need to research about lots of things before applying to that. And also, I think you need to have a decision that you want to study, because taking any step, especially when it's in education, you need to have like a proper plan. You need to organize everything, and also you need to do lots of research. When I decided to apply, it was in 2018. Because I already had my first master in international in business administration from India. And while I was applying for studying in Sweden, I went through the university.se website, and the first process for applying a study in Sweden is that we need to create an account in there. So first thing I did was creating my account in there, and also after that I think the most important process will come up, and that was finding the program that I wanted to study. And this is the important step, and anyone who wants to apply, this is important, that you need to do research in which field you want to study, or in which field you had your bachelor degree that you want to apply for the further courses. As I mentioned, I had my first master degree in business administration, and I had my own goal that I need to apply in international business, because based on the culture that I have been grown up, mostly they relate the business field to the man. That they are a good businessman, like men's are really good at this field, they achieve lots of things. So maybe on back of my mind, that was a motive for me to do my further study in the same field. And I did a lot of search that which courses or which universities having business administration. When finding the courses, I read the criteria, because each course, even each university, have their own criteria for the students when they are applying. So I read all the criteria that they need while applying over there, and I match with the Lowly Technical University criteria because they needed a 60% of the grades should be matched with the business field, which I had it previously from business administration. So through that, I applied to the international business, and fortunately, I have been accepted, and I come to Sweden for my further study.
Wow, amazing. What challenges did you face while applying?
Because I applied from Afghanistan, there are small barriers when you apply for it. Like, for example, if I say I didn't have the proper access to the internet because all the process was through internet, it was online. Sometimes it was barrier for me to have access in a proper net. And the second thing, which was a big problem for me, that in Afghanistan we don't have a Swedish. We have Swedish embassy, but we don't have the department that issue the visa, student visa for us. And I contacted the embassy as well, but unfortunately that they didn't have. So there was three options for me, whether I need to travel to India, Islamabad, Pakistan, or Iran to take the visa. So this is the big challenge for the people who are applying from Afghanistan for the further study. And for me, that was a big challenge to go to India. And also in India, while applying for the visa, everything is online. Only thing that I need the embassy was to go and give the biometric over there. The visa process was online. You needed to do it through online. So I think traveling from Afghanistan and for having visa, student visa, is a big challenge for the people. And sometimes it takes lots of time. Even when I apply for my visa, I didn't come on the same time. I didn't reach to Sweden on the same time. I missed my orientation date because I got my visa late, and the process takes lots of time. For my visa, I waited 2 months, and for when I apply for the course, it takes maybe 4 months to be accepted in the course, because in the process, being from developing countries, creating account is not an issue, but when you start your course, when you're applying for a course, you need to pay fee. So I needed to pay the fee, and back on 2018, there was few banks that had this online banking facilities that I needed to pay the application fee. So that's also a kind of a barrier for people who are applying from developing countries like Afghanistan.
Okay. So you didn't have any, did you have any score, TOEFL or IELTS while applying? Was it required?
I didn't had them, but I think English requirement is based on university and also the courses that we are applying. When I applied for the international business, and I think why they didn't ask for English proof from me was because my first master was international business, and I had matched the 60% of criteria for this course. So English requirement is based on university, and it's also important when someone is applying. So they need to research, they need to find out the requirement that the university have for them. Maybe this program that I applied didn't require it, but if they are applying for other courses in other university, so they may require that. It depends on university and also the courses that you are studying.
Okay. What do you think? What is the secret to your success?
I think the only thing that I achieve in life so far is that I have a vision for my own self. Like I plan for my own self that if I'm in point A and I want to reach point B, which activities I need to do, like a proper planning. I think if you want to reach your goal, whether it's anything, if it's in your professional life or it's in personal life, planning and having a clear goal is really important for everyone. So I had a proper plan. I have my goal in life and I wanted to build my own capacity. I wanted to have show my own people that the woman can also study business field and also achieve good things in their life. It's not only related to the gender, it's related to the capacity that everyone has. Apart from the gender, they should not relate education to the gender. I think I have that thing on my mind, and I have my goal in life, and I had a proper planning and to reach my goal.
Very interesting, and especially you talked about gender and business. So a question came up that why did you study international business? Why did you choose to study business?
My field, like my bachelor is in science, but when I graduated from university, I selected a business administration because based on my own culture that I have seen, women are not financially independent. There were less jobs for the women, and in all other organizations that the women were working, they were basically in the
Think we lost your voice and video. Are you still with us, Lisa Jan? We don't hear. So we have problem. We had problem. So hopefully Lisa John can come again to us and answer the question. So we see here that we have a question from Nargis. Is it compulsory to have a master degree and then apply for the second one? We will answer you after we are done with our interviews. Just a few moments. I hope that Lisa Chan can come soon. Yes, again.
okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens.
Yeah, it is fine. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
So I think that that really motivates me to study in a field that I should create opportunity for other women, that they should stand by their own self, they should be financially independent and create jobs for other women. So therefore, I selected business administration and I went to India as well and studied business. Even when I had my first master degree, in my culture, they always related business to man, and they were saying that this field is related to man. It's not like matchable for the woman. Mostly, they were preferring that maybe a teacher field or being a professor is preferred for the woman. But that's not true. We should not relate education to the gender. It should relate to the capacity that a person has. A woman we have nowadays, we have really successful business women in Afghanistan that they are like having great achievements over there. So therefore, I want to bring a positive change in my own culture, and also to show the people that a woman, a girl, can also achieve good things in their life, and to bring change and to change their mindset. That's the most important thing. And I think the new generation in Afghanistan should try to not follow the paths that is not logically good. They should provide answer through logic, through education. So therefore I choose business. And even my thesis topic was also related to this, because now in my culture, if we eliminate women from a field, the business has this is my thesis result, the business will not achieve competitive advantage, because we know nowadays business needs to try some new things and to have a competitive advantage to be in the market, especially in a countries like Afghanistan. That situation is not stable. The market situation is not stable, and in those markets, if we eliminate women, gender, so that has a negative effect on the business. And especially my research was on saffron, because 80% of saffron production women are doing. Women are producing, women are in the supply chain of the saffron, but we cannot see them. And all the companies in the higher management level, we see men's. And if they have like eliminate women, they will not get a competitive advantage in international markets. So that was a part of my thesis as well.
Very interesting, Lisa John. We can say the last question. Do you think it was worth to study in Sweden? And what is your message to youth about education, and especially women?
I think it's really important. It's not that someone say I have like my bachelor, I should not go for the master, or I should not study. And as I consider, also we got a comment from Riza Akbari that he says, why you applied for the second master? We will never end education from the day that we have born, I think, and the day that we are dying. Every day is a learning process. Every day that we wake up until we go to the sleep, whatever activity we are doing, whether we are getting an experience from them, we are learning things from this. So we should not stop educating ourselves. If we have a free time, it's better to spend it by reading a book, because it increased the mind and it increased our capacity. For me, I wanted to build my capacity. Traveling alone from Afghanistan, being on another part of the world, being on a different culture and environment, it was a learning process for me. If I compare myself, the Lisa that was in 2018 before in Afghanistan, and the Lisa that right now in here and sitting in here, I have a huge difference in all aspects of my life, in my personality, the way that I develop myself, the things that I learn in my life. I won't say it was easy for me to take this decision, but I really love all the experience, and it was a learning process for me. And my message for the youths are that education is the only thing, or the only weapon that we can change the world, especially to the youngs in Afghanistan. We know in which situation our country is, and I think the big reason behind that is the literacy rate, because the literacy rate is so low in Afghanistan, and we have less educated women in Afghanistan. So it's better that the woman educate, and it's not only woman. If one woman has education, so that's like she will flourish to the family. and the family will flourish that to the community, and the community to the nation level. So it's like a step that it go from bottom to the upper level. And investing in women is like we are investing in the future. Now we know that lots of things are happening back in my home country. They are targeting youth, they are targeting girls, they're blasting in schools. Why? That's because they don't want us to have proper educations. They want to target the youth because I think the new generation of Afghanistan has better vision. They have better way of thinking, and they want to bring good change and do good thing in Afghanistan. So I really support the women, and I really support them to get the education, whether it's in any way possible, because through education, we can bring peace and sustainability to our country.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa John. So we can now go to the question. I see if still someone want to ask question from Lisa, you have still opportunity to come to the link in YouTube because we cannot see your comments or your question anywhere else. One question from Nargis is it compulsory to have a master degree and then apply for the second one?
Nargis John, I don't think so. But when you were applying for from countries like in Europe countries, so it's important in any courses that you are applying in master level, please read the course criteria, that it should match with your bachelor degree that you had. So matching the criteria is the most important thing. Otherwise, it will be waste of time that you will invest in your application, and you will wait and your application won't be accepted by universities. So read the criteria. If it match to your bachelor degree, your field of study, it's not necessary to have a master degree and then apply for another one.
Thank you. The second or another question from Reza is what has been most challenging steps that you had to take moving to Sweden?
Rizal, it's not easy for a woman, based on Afghani culture, to take this step and move from a country and come to another part of the world. Especially we are in an environment that if the family give you permission, the community will say lots of things about a girl. That's a kind of, if I say that's a really bad reality of our culture. That was a big step. And moving to Sweden, as you know, it's new environment, new language, the food, the culture, everything is changed. It's like you will be born, newly you are born. You need to learn the language, you need to know the culture, you need to make yourself familiar with the environment, with education system. So these are the challenges, and that's why I said before taking any step, it's really important to do your full research in which environment you are going, in which country you are going, what's the culture, what's the basic language requirements you are going, what's the education system. That's the most important thing. So we know maybe this is a small issues, but when you come to the new environment, these small issues will be so big and give you lots of stress in your life.
Thank you. I think you answered Reza's second question. So we go to the third. What changes do you see in studying at India or in India and studying in Sweden?
Research on the education system is totally changed. If I compare, because I studied my bachelor in Afghanistan, my first master in India, and also the second master in Sweden, these three countries have a different education system. If I only compare India with Sweden, I found it that Sweden is more practical work. We have more group activities. You will have a real example of the companies when you are going to doing your assignment. If any assignment has been given by the professor, it's like you are real in a world and you are doing the real thing. But in India, more I found that it was theory based. You need to study the book and like just give the exam. You would not have that much practic experience. I found more fun to have practic than studying the theory, because studying the theory is like you will forget a theory. If you ask me now what was like Maslow's law theory, I totally forget that. But when I apply the same knowledge in a practical way, I will have that experience through all my life. I will not forget that. So therefore, having practic experience is better than only studying the theory. I don't say that theory is not good, but theory and practic, that's like the best experience. It's my point of view. I don't know, maybe someone else will prefer the theory, but if I compare, so I like the practic thing. It was more in Sweden, it was more in group activities. You will meet the companies in real life. You were going to do everything was real, and you will have the responsibility to do all those things. And I found that a fun experience.
Thank you, Lisa John. We have another questions from Brur Kaisa. Couldn't you get the same education in other countries?
Maybe on developed countries, maybe the same, but in developing countries like Afghanistan, the education system will differ because due to the situation. But in developed country like Sweden, maybe other countries will have the same education system. But I compare the developed and developing countries. So if we compare these two countries, they have a huge difference in the way that they are teaching and the way that education system is.
Okay. So we go to the last question, which is not, I think, so much related to this subject, but I read it. Reza says, I have heard that the Swedish people are not so friendly. So how do you evaluate it? Is it really true?
Reza John, that depends on everyone, because everyone's experience will be different. Since I reached in Sweden, I found them really friendly, because the day that I reached and up to now, if I had any question, because I was new, honestly, if I say I was new to the environment, new to the culture, I really found them so friendly. If I had any question, they were so kind, and they will instruct you the way that they explain everything. They teach me how the education system in Sweden is, because I missed my orientation. I come late to my study. I totally missed my orientation week, but they help me. They teach me how everything works in the university. Because in Afghanistan and India, we don't have lots of things that going on in technology. Like in Sweden, everything is on their website. You don't need to like contact your professor. You don't need to like physically go on library to take a book. Everything is on the website. They teach me how to like find a book on the university's website, how to have my registration through the website. So my experience is different. I know they prefer to be individualism, because in my back culture, we are all together, like bonded, but they prefer to be individual. But they are friendly. I don't find them that they are not friendly. They help me through my educations. They help me a lot, which I'm really thankful to them.
Okay. Yes. So How can I? Yes, now. I think now we don't have any more questions and we are done with our interview. Thank you so much, Lisa John, for your amazing input. That was really amazing, actually. And we had so many interesting questions as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mariam John. Thank you so much for your channel. And I think it's really important to spread that education is really important because education will reduce poverty. Education will eliminate gender inequality in all levels. So I really support, and especially for the girls back in Afghanistan, because they don't have that opportunity. Like for me, being in here, I fight a lot. It's not easy for any woman to have access to education. And I found myself so lucky. I count myself so lucky that I had this opportunity to be the person that I am in here. And I think now it's time that I should give back to my own people. And I really support your channel that you are sharing information to the other people and motivating them for the education because it's really important. And if we want to build back our home country, if we want to do something back for our country, is the only way is education. Afghanistan, if it should stand back on its own feet, is back through education and women empowerment. So thank you
Exactly.
so much for your channel. I really support that, and I'm so happy to see a woman like you and that doing this all thing. Thank you so much that you are giving your energy, your time, and doing this kind of activities.
Thank you so much, and thank you again for your time. So, oh. Thank you, friends, for your time. If you have any more questions, so you can still write in the comments on YouTube, and we answer your questions next time that we have a live interview. Please don't forget to subscribe for more motivational videos, and we will do more live interviews with amazing and successful women, and especially men. So until next time, have a nice day.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you so much, Mariam John. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.